So here it is, folks, another winner today. I banked my Avalanche AVAX for over 14% gain. And again, you can see that this is exactly what the charts were predicting. Now, again, predictions are probabilities, and I want to make that clear. So it doesn't mean that every time I say something, I'm going to be right. It's just that based on probabilities, when I say something and I use probabilities, more often than not, I am going to be right. So that's the key, folks. So again, I'm by no means infallible. I will have calls that do not go my way. But again, we've talked about the up move in Bitcoin and in cryptocurrencies now for quite some time, right? I mean, even when we were over here, I said, guys, I'm still favoring a breakout. And we hit this line once. We hit it twice. We hit it a third time in very short succession. And remember what the methodology teaches us. The more you hit a trend line in short succession, the weaker the trend line becomes. And again, you had this wedge pattern, classic wedge pattern. We broke above it here. We confirmed. We had a little small retrace, then the big move, and then the next phase began. And this is very normal for charts, where you have a big move on the breakout, and then you go into this sideways chop. Because what happens is there's a lot of doubting investors, right? They're kind of on pins and needles here. And when they get the breakout, they say, oh my goodness, that was so scary. Let me take profits. And so they sell into it, which creates the bullish consolidation because you get buyers that are believing that it's going to go higher as well. So that creates this bullish pattern. Eventually you exhaust those kind of, pins and needles traders who couldn't handle it and they sold out, and then that's where you get your next move to the upside. Obviously, this coinciding with a down move on Friday in the U.S. dollar. The jobs report I discussed in yesterday's video was, in general, the headline was stronger, but the underbelly was weaker. And again, that gave the market hopes that the Fed may decide to kind of go a little bit easier in December. I'm in the camp of a 25 basis point hike in December, but we do get the CPI data this week. If that is still very, very high, higher than expected, then you might see a 50 basis point hike in December. But again, I think the 75s are over with. I think, again, if you look at the Fed statement, the actual written statement, it was very clear that they're aware that the hikes they've done do not filter into the system for 6 to 9 months. So that means that basically most of the 75 hikes haven't even filtered in yet into the system. And again, obviously they did one just last week as well. So again, this is where it's at. We should again see this continue higher. It doesn't, as of now, look like, if we close the day right now, and by the way, it's about 7:56 p.m., so in 4 minutes, I'll still be doing this video. I will be able to tell you if you confirm the breakout. As of now, you would not, which isn't a big deal, because as long as it stays above, it can confirm tomorrow or the next day or whatever. But the point is, again, is that you want to see a confirmed breakout above this high here. If that happens, then you should get that next move to about 22,400 to 22,500. Now remember, that level is your big resistance. Now, is it possible for us to get to this 25 level? Yes, it is, absolutely. But again, you must get through this level first, and I don't like jumping the gun, right? Again, I think that it's important for us to see, okay, let's hit this next level, then let's see how price acts. Does it form a bull flag? Does it form a bear flag? Do we see a reversal candle? What do the charts tell us before we make that leap and say, okay, well, now we're going to likely go to 25,000? I would say, again, this level here, about a 70%, maybe 75% chance we get to. This level up here, as of now, since we haven't gotten through this, is probably only about a 55 to 60% chance we get all the way up there. So it favors it by just a little bit more than 50%. That's not good enough for me. So again, for me, as we move up, you're going to see me slowly taking profits. I love it. Again, some of these trades we've been in for a little while because honestly, if you look at the crypto market, I mean, look at this. I mean, this is so unusual for crypto. And again, I comment and marvel at this all the time, is how the stock market, the currency market, and the commodity market has been more volatile than crypto since the June low. But now you're starting to see some volatility come into the mix, which I love. And again, we had this kind of float up, then this float down. Then we went into this ridiculously quiet period right here. Finally got the breakout. Remember what I said, by the way, when we were in this quiet period over here? I said, guys, the calm before the storm. Before there's a big move, you always get this kind of dead action. And that's what almost breeds the big move. And again, this is just something I've experienced, but it also makes sense psychologically because people get so kind of bored. And then as soon as you get a little breakout, everyone's like, oh, yes, here we go. And they jump on board, right? It creates more volatility because everyone gets super, super excited from a very kind of dull period. All right, bottom line is, again, I'll check back in, but as of now, it doesn't look like we'll confirm, which, again, isn't the end of the world. It just means it hasn't confirmed today. We'll watch and see what it does tomorrow. All right, here you have this. And, again, should any of us be surprised that you're seeing a small pullback in Ethereum off of this trend line here? And, again, look at where the trend line comes from. All-time high to second major pivot high, and there you are. So again, this is the power of charts. And this told us here that, yeah, short term, sure, we could go test that line, but now you're into resistance. And sure enough, while Bitcoin is up a little bit today, Ethereum, because it hit resistance, is pulling back. Amazing little example there of technicals at work. Again, I sold my Avalanche. We can take a quick look at that. You can see at one point Avalanche was, again, it got to about $20.50. I backed off, and then again, I just took it just above that $20 level, took profits here. Again, why did I take profits here? Just, again, the same methodology that I've preached to you guys is that as you get deeper in the money on more trades that you're in, you don't say, oh, I'm going to swing for the fences and I pray that it goes to the maximum upside, because you know what happens to those people that do that? They go broke. And so what I've learned is as you're unloading, what do? You take a little bit off the table, right? So again, take a little bit off the table here and there and go from there. All right, and again, that's what we did with Solana, and that's what we did again with Avalanche. We still have Cardano here. Let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano continues to attack this level. I'm giving it some breathing room, hoping that it can break out. If Bitcoin does go to 22.5, this should break out above this level, in which case you could get a super spike to about 51 to 52 cents. I'm still holding, obviously, my Polkadot, which continues to look really, really good here. Let's take a look at that chart. And again, pausing, that's fine. You're well above resistance. I want to see a bull flag form and then next move up, take us into this level. And of course, as you guys know, I'm still holding my Bitcoin from a while back as well. As again, I still see this with the potential of getting to about 25,000. Now, a lot of people have asked me, and by the way, it is now 8:01. The new day has started. Did it confirm? Wow, it might have confirmed. Might have just popped right at the end of the day. Yeah, it looks like it did. All right, so just a little breaking news here that technically you confirmed the breakout. By no means does that mean that you're going to go straight up, but what it does mean is that now you're in a position that whether you pause, have a small pullback day on a Sunday, whatever it may be, now the odds strongly favor, again, a move to the upside to 22.5, 22.4. So that's kind of cool to see. That was a game time decision right there, right at the close. They jacked it up just enough to confirm it. To me, that's institutional signals that, again, yes, we could pull back a little bit, but you likely will hold the line here. And therefore, again, even if it needs to bull flag, you're likely going up to here. So that's pretty darn cool, folks. That is very, very cool. All right, let's go over just a couple others. I'm not going to, do a too long video tonight because I have tomorrow. Look at that run again on Matic, Polygon. Polygon pulling back just a little bit. Polygon actually did put in a topping tail here. So this is actually a bearish candle on Matic. It's not a short signal yet. Really what you look for is a retrace of 50%, so maybe back to $1.25. Then you can actually short it if you want. That would be a high percentage short trade. Again, I know a lot of you guys can't short this one, but again, for those of you that can, that would be a shortable opportunity. Let's see what else we have here on the radar. BNB, I think, pulled back a little bit. Yep, super spike here. Really remarkable daily chart. Pulling back a little bit. Again, actually, interestingly enough, you did not confirm above this line, so it still means that on a pullback, this line is vulnerable for you to potentially trade back below. All right, guys, on that note, let's see where we go into Sunday. And obviously, I think the crypto market likely could be a little quiet, but once we get into Monday, that's where things could get wild again. Keep an eye on the U.S. dollar tomorrow night. Obviously, I'll do another video basically by that point, but the dollar, yields, and then obviously this week the CPI report is going to be epically massive for assets in general. You guys have a good one. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Take care.